Boom! Imagine a face-off between two of the most influential powers in the Middle East, Iran and Israel. This isn't your everyday David versus Goliath story. This is a tale of two nations, each boasting a formidable military presence. A recent drone attack by Iran on Israel has cranked up the tension, sparking fears of an all-out war. Iran, with its larger population, boasts more military manpower. Israel, though, isn't to be outdone with its superior defense budget and advanced weaponry. It's a high-stakes game of chess, each side with their own set of strengths and weaknesses. Land, air, sea, or the covert world of proxy militias, the battlefield is diverse and ever-changing. The question remains, who's got the upper hand in this power play? But hey, before we dive in, hit that like button, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Do it like you're launching a missile, fast and accurate. And now, let's get into the thick of it. First things first, let's talk about the troops. It's like comparing the size of the armies. On one side of the ring, we have Iran, a country with a population that's pushing 83 million. That's a lot of potential soldiers, right? Now let's see what Israel brings to the table. With a population of just over 9 million, it's clear that Israel is the underdog in this scenario. But don't let the numbers fool you. It's not always about the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. Let's now look at the number of active troops. Iran, with its larger population, has a substantial number of boots on the ground. We're talking about 500,000 active military personnel. That's comparable to the population of a small city, all in uniform and combat ready. On the flip side, Israel, despite its smaller population, is no slouch when it comes to its military manpower. With 170,000 active troops, they might be fewer in number, but each one is a highly trained, well-equipped soldier. It's also worth mentioning that both countries have a form of compulsory military service. In Israel, it's mandatory for both men and women to serve in the military after they turn 18. In Iran, all men aged 18 and above are required to serve in the military for a period of 2 years. So in terms of sheer numbers, Iran seems to have an upper hand, but hey, it's not always the size that matters, right? Moving on, let's dive into the world of weapons and who's got the bigger guns. Now, when it comes to advanced weaponry, both Iran and Israel pack a serious punch. But as in any war, it's not just about the size of the arsenal, but also about the quality and diversity of the weapons. On one side, we have Israel, a small nation with a big defense budget. This allows the country to invest in some of the most advanced weaponry available. They've got an impressive air force that's considered one of the best in the world. And let's not forget their cutting-edge aerial defense system. They've got layers upon layers of missile defense like the Iron Dome, David Sling, and the Arrow system. These systems can intercept anything from short-range rockets to intercontinental ballistic missiles. Talk about shielding up. Let's add some numbers. The Global Firepower Index reveals that Israel has a total of 612 aircraft, whereas Iran has 551. The one important aspect to point out is that Israel's Air Force comprises the most modern fighter aircraft like F-15S, F-16S, and F-35S. But that is not the case for Iran. However, Iran possesses an extensive arsenal of ballistic missiles and drones, according to the International Institute for Strategic Studies. This arsenal, one of the largest in West Asia, includes cruise missiles, anti-ship missiles, and ballistic missiles capable of reaching ranges up to 2,000 kilometers. These weapons have the capability and reach to target various locations, including Israel. Iran has openly showcased its military buildup, exhibiting its collection of drones and missiles during military parades. Moreover, Iran aims to establish a significant export market for drones. Notably, Iranian drones have been employed by Russia in Ukraine and have also been observed in the conflict in Sudan. But let's not get too carried away. While Israel's advanced weaponry and Iran's extensive missile arsenal are indeed formidable, they both have their limitations. For instance, Israel's defense systems are effective, but not foolproof. They can't intercept every missile, especially if there's a large-scale attack. Meanwhile, Iran's missile arsenal, while vast, lacks the precision and sophistication of Israel's weapons. Undoubtedly, both countries have their unique strengths, but Israel seems to have a slight edge with more advanced weaponry. But what about the money, honey? Now it's time to talk about the big bucks, the defense budgets. Strap in, folks, because this is where things really heat up. When it comes to military spending, Israel and Iran have quite different strategies. Starting with Iran, its defense budget is a bit of a tricky beast. While the official numbers might seem modest in comparison to some global superpowers, don't let that fool you. Israel spends more on defense compared to Iran, as shown by the Global Firepower Index. Israel's defense budget is $24 billion, while Iran's is $9.95 billion. However, Iran's military, especially the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, IRGC, doesn't rely solely on the state budget. According to the Washington-based Foundation for Defensive Democracies, FDD, the IRGC controls a significant part of Iran's economy, including 1/5 of the Tehran Stock Exchange's market value and thousands of other companies. This generates additional revenue for Iran's armed forces. Additionally, the IRGC has control over a significant portion of Iran's underground economy. So, while the raw numbers might not be as high as some other countries, the impact of Iran's defense spending is far-reaching. Israel invests a significant portion of its budget in research and development, constantly seeking to stay ahead in the ever-evolving world of military tech. Israel's budget also supports its Iron Dome aerial defense system, a key strategic asset that provides a vital layer of protection against missile attacks. This isn't just about having more money to spend, it's about how effectively that money is used to enhance the country's defensive capabilities and maintain its technological edge. There you have it, folks. Israel leads in the budget department. But money can't buy you everything, can it? All right, let's shift gears and talk about geography and tactics. Geography, as they say, is destiny, and this holds true in military matters as well. The terrain, the climate, the location, all these factors can influence the outcome of a conflict. Iran is a large country, about 75 times bigger than Israel, with a diverse landscape, mountains, desert, and coastline. This varied terrain could potentially provide Iran with a home field advantage, allowing it to use the landscape to its benefit in a conflict. Additionally, Iran's central location in the Middle East gives it strategic significance. Now here's where it gets intriguing. Iran doesn't just rely on its geography for defense. It has a network of proxy militias spread across the region. These proxies essentially extend Iran's reach, allowing it to project power far beyond its borders. It's a unique tactical advantage that can't be ignored. Now let's hop over to Israel. It's a much smaller country, but don't let that fool you. Israel's geographical location gives it a strategic edge. It's surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea and desert, which provide natural barriers to invasion. Israel's tactics, like Iran's, are not confined to its borders. It has a well-developed intelligence network that reaches far and wide. This intelligence capability, combined with its technological prowess, is a significant part of Israel's tactical strength. So it's a tough call here, with both countries leveraging their unique geographical and tactical advantages. But now, it's time for the final verdict. So who's got the upper hand in this hypothetical face-off? Well, it's not so clear-cut. On one side, you have Iran, with its larger military manpower and significant missile arsenal. And on the other, there's Israel, with its higher defense budget and technological advancements. Both have their strengths and weaknesses when it comes to land and naval power, and each employs distinct tactics shaped by their unique geographies. Yet, what's undeniable is the tension, the potential for conflict, and the uncertainty that lingers. It's a chess match on a global scale, with moves and counter-moves, strategies and counter-strategies. And like any game of chess, it's not just about the pieces on the board, but the minds behind them. But remember, it's not about who's stronger or mightier. It's about understanding the complexities of global politics. Who do you think would win in a potential war? Stay informed, stay curious. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.